Hello, I'm Timothy Brown, Education and Community Engagement Manager at the Hartford Symphony Orchestra. Today's video features a personal favorite of mine, the clarinet. I myself began studying the clarinet back in 5th grade band. Our teacher is Eddie Sundra, Assistant Principal Clarinetist with the Hartford Symphony Orchestra. In addition to being a versatile musician, Eddie is also an avid composer of both chamber works and electronic music. Enjoy today's video, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Hi, my name is Eddie Sundra. I play with the Hartford Symphony Orchestra. Today we're going to talk about my favorite instrument, the clarinet. The clarinet is a member of the woodwind family, which means, for the most part, I'm looking at you, flute, the sound is produced via a reed. And what the reed does is it vibrates rapidly against the mouthpiece when placed correctly. And the reed is held in place via a ligature, which ligatures can come in all different shapes, sizes, materials, etc. And you can play the mouthpiece by itself just by blowing through it. It produces a very interesting sound. Yeah, so if you want to annoy your parents, just do that for a while. But we can make a much nicer sound by putting the mouthpiece onto the body of the clarinet, which includes the barrel, the upper joint, the lower joint, and finally the bell. And the sound is much nicer, and as some may describe as velvety, chocolatey, and perhaps even a bit mysterious. However, we can also make a sound that is quite bright, piercing, and perhaps a bit obnoxious as well. So, as you can tell, the clarinet is a very versatile instrument. It can do a lot of different things, have a lot of different flavors, if you will, and that is useful for both soloistic playing as well as ensemble playing. The very first clarinet was developed in the early 1700s by a guy named Christoph Denner. And Christoph Denner took an old instrument known as the chalumeau and added a register key. And what this register key does is it adds a whole new range to the clarinet, which made it incredibly useful for composers such as Mozart and Weber, who by the early 1800s were writing some of the most beloved clarinet repertoire in all of existence. Now, the modern clarinet design was patented in 1884 by Buffet, and Buffet is actually still an active maker of the clarinet, and I'm currently playing on Buffet instruments. These instruments are made of grenadilla wood, which is found in Africa, and also clarinets can come in plastic and resin and other materials and other kinds of woods. But usually all of these clarinets have 17 keys, which allows the clarinet to play a whole chromatic scale between its low E and its high G, and beyond and so forth. In the old days, clarinetists used to have to make their own reeds, which was obviously a very arduous process. And while some people still make their own reeds today, we can simply go to the store and buy reeds, which is obviously a lot less time consuming. So how does one play the clarinet? The first and foremost thing to play the clarinet is you need air. And I'm not talking about that sort of wimpy breath. We need a nice big foundation of air coming from our belly. And when we do that, we don't necessarily get a sound. What we need to do is we need to form an embouchure. An embouchure is basically a French word that deals with how we position our lips and mouth in order to play the clarinet. And to form a clarinet embouchure, essentially the first thing you want to do is you want to smile, like a nice big smile. And then we roll our bottom lip over our bottom teeth, and we kind of purse our lips together like that, so our lips are going to be coming in from the side, and our top teeth are going to come in contact with the top part of the mouthpiece. And when we put that all together and then take a nice big breath, we get a lovely nice clarinet sound. And if we want to change notes, we simply add fingers to extend the length of where the air is coming out of the instrument, which will make the notes go lower. And the same applies if we add our register key. More notes generally means lower in pitch. So there's your super simple explanation on how to play the clarinet. So if you're in school, you have the option of playing a lot of different types of clarinets, and most likely you will start with a regular soprano B-flat clarinet, but with me I have a bass clarinet, which you might have the option of playing, and it sounds like this. Obviously is a lot lower than the regular clarinet. It goes one whole octave plus a few notes below the regular B-flat clarinet. And there is also an E-flat clarinet, which I do not have currently with me. But if you see this picture here, that is an E-flat clarinet. It is obviously a little bit higher than the regular clarinet, so it's going to sound kind of bright and piercing, a little bit more than regular clarinet. And there are also many other types of clarinets. There's even smaller clarinets than that. There's way bigger clarinets like the contralto, contrabass, etc. And you have clarinets in the middle like the alto clarinet and the basset horn. I also have with me my A clarinet. And the A clarinet, as you can see, is slightly longer than the B-flat clarinet. So this is your standard school instrument. The A clarinet is just a little bit longer, and it is pitched 1/2 step down, meaning that you will be able to play one semitone lower. And it is used a lot in orchestra literature, as well as some big concertos, like the Mozart concerto and the Nielsen concerto. They're on A clarinet. So you probably won't need to use the A clarinet in school, unless you want to play in orchestra a lot. Aside from being a classical instrument, the clarinet is a great instrument for jazz, made famous by people such as Benny Goodman and Artie Shaw, and it is also used in other styles such as klezmer and certain ethnic styles of music. The reason for this is because the clarinet is great at many sorts of extended techniques, and I will demonstrate some of those. The first being flutter tonguing, which is where I'm rolling my R's while playing. I can also sing into the instrument while playing at the same time, which is called growling. I can glissando between multiple notes. And I can even play more than one note at a time using a technique called multiphonics. So, in that respect, the clarinet is an awesome instrument for making many sorts of different sounds. Well, there you have it. There is the clarinet. Thank you for tuning in and watching my video. I hope you enjoyed. Check out the Hartford Symphony's website for further instrument demonstrations, as well as other goodies and such. And we look forward to seeing you in the concert hall, hopefully sometime soon. So anyway, thanks. Bye-bye.